Hi guys, it's Mina. Welcome back. Today we are starting another one of our Constellation Series. We're going to be doing Capricorn today. So let me show you my colors and then we'll go ahead and get started. This is a 24 by 30 inch gallery wrapped canvas from Artist Loft. Beautiful, beautiful canvases. I really like these. So get them at Michael's. Okay, so my colors today. So this story is a little bit, it's kind of like a two-part story. So I actually had paint mixed up for two sort of parts of a pour, but then I did a test and I really liked it with just the first part of the pour. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and we may or may not use that second lot of colors, but I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a minute. So the first one we have is Golden's Paynes Gray, and nice and thick, leaving a mound on a mound on a mound. I'm still having those Floetrol issues. This is actually leftover paint, some of it from deeper into the deep. I hope you guys saw that one. It was a great pour. I'll link it for you up here. So that's the Paynes Gray from Golden's. This one is Liquitex Basics Ultramarine Blue. I love this color. When I first started, this was one of the first colors I got, and it was just so beautiful. And it's a transparent color, which is great because it means that cells pop up through it, which is beautiful, and it does dry nice and dark. This one is Golden's Light Turquoise, leaving a mound on a mound. And I guess this is the reason that I always call the other one Deep Turquoise, because I know there's a light turquoise. So this is the light turquoise, and this is the turquoise phthalo, the darker one, that I always call Deep Turquoise, and that's why. So that's my leftovers from deeper into the deep also, leaving a mound on a mound. There's not that much of it, but that's okay. So that's the light turquoise. We have the regular turquoise. I also have Golden's Cobalt Blue, leaving a mound on a mound on a mound. Kind of thick actually, but good stuff. It's a pretty color. So that's that one. And then I have my DecoArt Americana Decor Metallics in 24 karat gold. I hope it's not too thin. No, that's okay. Okay, so the other colors that I have, for the other part that I was thinking about doing, this one is Chroma Molten Metals in aged bronze, and I probably will use this even in the blue part of the pour. Very, very pretty color. I really like what it does with the Paynes Gray. Very pretty. This one is DecoArt Americana Decor Satin Enamels in neutral beige. I may or may not use this. I might use it as a flow extender or a background color, depending on what we want to do. This one is the leftovers of my iridescent pearl from deeper into the deep, and it is mixed with Satin Enamels pure white, leaving a mound on a mound on a mound. Okay, might or may not use that, I'm not sure. This one is Artist Loft Red Ochre. Very pretty color, fairly new to me recently, and I really like it. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. And the last one I have is Golden's Dyke Brown. So I was planning to do like a water thing and a land thing, but I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. So I may or may not use this. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm prepared in case. Let's just put it that way. Okay, let's layer a cup and then I'm going to tell you the story. Okay, we're going to start with, actually I want to show you the test one that I just did. Hang on. So that's the one that I did as my test pour, and I really like how that came out with that darker Paynes Gray and the cobalt popping through, and the lighter turquoise over there in the corner with some of the iridescent white. Really, really pretty. So this is sort of what I'm hoping we're going to end up with. Okay, so to that end, we're going to start with a little bit of Paynes Gray. And then I'm going to put some of that aged bronze in there. And some Ultramarine Blue. And now I'm going to put some of, actually, I'm going to put some of the light turquoise in. And then some of the darker turquoise. The turquoise phthalo. I'm going to put some gold. And now we're going to use some of our Cobalt Blue, which is very similar to the Ultramarine, but this one is an opaque and this one is a transparent. So this one's the Cobalt Blue, this is the Ultramarine Blue. So this is the opaque and that's the transparent. So the opaque one is going to sink deeper and then it's going to come up through the transparent colors. So hopefully we'll get a ultramarine background with some cells popping up that have cobalt in them. Okay, so now I want to use some of that iridescent pearl. Okay, and we're going to go back to our, actually I'm going to put a little bit of the turquoise in first. And then some ultramarine. Another layer of the light turquoise. Some Paynes. The aged bronze. Cobalt. Light turquoise, white, gold, okay, so I think that's good. Now let's, we're going to put down a little bit of a base coat. Let's see, what am I going to put down as the base coat? I think I kind of want to use some of that neutral beige. I'm going to grab a little cup and thin it out a bit. Okay, so this is the neutral beige from Satin Enamels, DecoArt Americana, Decor Satin Enamels. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of gold in there too. What the hell, let's throw some aged bronze in there as well. You don't have to stir it up all the way. Okay, I'm going to put some water in there though. Because I do want this to be thinner than all of that. That's okay, don't worry about it. Okay. I do want a little bit of gold peeking through there though, so I'm going to add a little bit more. So now I'm going to tell you the story. Okay, so the father of all of the SeaGoats was Paynes, and he is related in mythology to Kronos. Kronos actually created Paynes. Kronos was the god of time, and he could manipulate time and reverse time. Pretty nifty trick to have, I think. Anyway, so Paynes is the father of all of these SeaGoats in the ocean, and they lived near a shore. And the SeaGoats were goat on top, had the legs, front legs of a goat, and their bottom half was a fish's tail, so they could swim really well. And they would go, they were kind of drawn to the shore, and they would pull themselves up onto the shore with their front goat legs and lay down in the sun and like sunbathe. And as they laid there longer, their fish tails started to evolve into hind legs of a goat. And if they stayed on the shore long enough in the sun, they actually became full goats. So the SeaGoats were favored by the gods, and they were intelligent creatures who could think and talk and communicate and do things. But when they turned into regular goats on land, they lost their ability to think and talk, and they just became regular goats. And Paynes was very upset by this. He wanted his children back around him in the sea. And once they were on land and became goats, they no longer could return to the sea. So after he lost several of his little SeaGoat baby children, well, I guess not babies, but SeaGoat children to the land, he decided to reverse time and bring his children back to the sea. And when he reversed time, everything on Earth went back to that moment before, except for Paynes himself. So he was the only one who actually knew what would happen to the SeaGoats if they went up on the shore. So he brought his children back to the sea by reversing time, and you know, he forbid them to go on the shore. He told them it's dangerous, he told them it's scary, he told them they'll die. Everything he could do to stop them from going up on land, but no matter what he did, they kept going. Okay, we probably will need another cup, to be honest with you, because for this size canvas, you need 25 ounces of paint, and this is 16 ounces. So Maybe I'm not gonna pour it in the middle. Maybe I'm gonna start with this one like kind of over here and do this half. I don't know. Nah, we'll start it right over. We're gonna go up here and towards the middle. I'm gonna do a ring pour. Here we go. Or a fantasy pour, maybe. Seems like it needs some darker. Well, he did put Paynes in the bottom, so here we go. Stop there. Okay, I'm gonna put some more paint in here and we're gonna pour another cup. So I'm gonna start with Paynes again at the bottom. And some of that aged bronze again. So I'm going to pour this one over here. I'll push that just that way, just a tiny bit. Okay. Ready? I may actually travel with this one. Okay, so let's see what happens with this. I'm gonna turn it around and we're gonna go down first. So to continue with the story, everything he could do to stop them from going up on land, but no matter what he did, they kept going. And he kept reversing time and bringing his children back to him. And eventually he got tired and he was just accepted that these SeaGoat children were going to have to live out their own destiny and their own fate, and he let them go and stopped trying to control them. So I'm reading all of this, right? And I'm thinking, okay, there's a lesson here about letting your children go and keeping them close to the nest, and no matter how much you try to protect them and warn them, sometimes they have to live their own destiny and just go on their own path and their own journey. So keep your kids close while you can, and then I guess give them wings, or in this case, legs, and let them trot off and live their own life. Okay, we're gonna come back this way. Actually, the paint should be right here, so we're gonna probably go off that corner now. Down a bit. So to continue with the story, he let them go. But then poor Prychus was the only SeaGoat left in the ocean, and he was very sad and very lonely. So he actually went to Kronos and he begged him to let him die because he was immortal. He couldn't die. And he begged him to let him die because he was lonely and he couldn't be with his children. And instead of killing him, Kronos put him up as the Capricorn constellation in the sky so he could watch all of his children, even on the highest mountaintops, from his place in the stars, where he lived immortally. So that's the story of Prychus and the SeaGoats and Capricorn. Not as sexy as our Aphrodite series, but interesting nonetheless. So anyway, that's the story of Capricorn. Okay. So let's take a look at it for a second, see what we like and what we don't like. I love this. The Paynes Gray with those cells coming up is amazing. This is gorgeous. This is amazing. I want to stretch that out. This is a little too much gold for me, but I'm loving this part and I love this part. So I think I want to take some of this off and stretch that out, and take some of this off and stretch this out. Of course, I have to go two different ways. So. I'm going to see if I can get that off first. I think the weight of the paint is down there. So we're just going to go this way. And go over that side. Until we hit the Paynes Gray. Take a little bit more of that gold off. Okay. And that stretched this out too. Now we're going to go this way. And I wanted to keep this, and now I want to keep this. So I'm okay getting rid of some of this. So now the weight of our paint is up here. We're going to go that way. Okay. It's not moving fast anymore. That's good. That means it's already stretched and spreading. And see, as we take the center part is moving down, it's going to take some of that bottom part off and stretch out this top part and open it up to any cells that want to come through that paint, which that's already happening. It's really pretty up here on the edge. Okay, almost there. I'm going to bring this back this way just a little bit. And then just take this back to center a little bit more.
I think you've done it.
Okay. So I do like this. I think it's actually really, really neat. And I think it sort of fits the theme of our story a little bit in terms of Rikus in the ocean with his children. Sort of see that over here. And the symbol for Capricorn is sort of this like N-shaped or U-shaped. So we're sort of seeing that there a little bit, but this is definitely the ocean part. And then in here, there's sort of a beach. And then up here, I guess some wooded area, grassy shores. There's actually some sort of steps right there. So maybe that's where the little sea goats are, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe this is the ocean and then these are the beach and then this is where the goats are going up the mountains. I don't know. But I do like the way this turned out. I think it's pretty neat. So this is Capricorn with Paynes Gray and Turquoise and Cobalt Blue and Ultramarine Blue and Light Turquoise and 24 karat gold and aged bronze. That's what we used in this. Pretty cool. I love this. This separation of lines is just beautiful in here, and this is really pretty with that iridescent pearl. I forgot that one. The iridescent pearl with the satin enamels in it, and then this Paynes Gray over here with these cells popping up through it is so pretty. So there's the Cobalt Blue, and this is, I guess, the reason that I don't use it that often is because it does get very, not baby blue, but it's just a very, I don't know, there's something. But it's cool. I like the Cobalt Blue, especially with the turquoise. I love this aged bronze in here. This is very pretty. This is nice and wispy and soft on the edge. There's the neutral beige that was our base coat. I like this part a lot. I love those cells popping up through there. I like this a lot. I love this. The aged bronze in there is beautiful. I guess this is the cobalt and the Paynes and the ultramarine with some white. Pretty cool though. I like it. Okay. we're good. So this is Capricorn. I will show you when it's dry. Okay, so this is Capricorn. This is a few days later. This one turned out really, really pretty. I love all this detail in here. Really gorgeous. Nice separation of the lines and the colors. You can see that iridescent pearl, how much contrast it added to this area. Just beautiful lines. Very, very pretty. That's with the Cobalt Blue and the Ultramarine Blue and the light turquoise. I'm surprised actually that neutral beige isn't bothering me. It actually looks really pretty. I love this part with these little wispy sections. Very cool. That's the aged bronze up in this corner. Very pretty. Beautiful colors. So this one is Capricorn. I love this part over here with the aged bronze in there. Just really, really beautiful against that cobalt with the light turquoise and the gold. Very, very pretty. And the Paynes Gray is that darker color in the background. So this one turned out really cool. And this one is the story of Prycus, the SeaGoat god, and his children wanting to go up on shore, and him finally having to accept that he has to let them live out their own destinies, as do we all. So I love that part about how Kronos puts him up in the heavens as a constellation so that he can watch all his SeaGoat children that are goats, even if they're on the highest mountaintops, from his place in the stars. Very cool. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I did. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can check it out on Facebook at Mina Villegas Art, or you can check out my Etsy shop. If you'd like to be a patron of the arts, you can find a link in the description box for a PayPal me. I greatly appreciate all of your donations. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. I love your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what, I wanted to ask you guys on Gemini, what do you think the characteristics are for this sign? So what do you think the dominant trait is for Capricorn? Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you for the next one. See you soon.